Member ONBD, Railway Board, members of the CRIS Executive Committee, including MD and directors of CRIS, CMDs and CEOs of PSUs, distinguished speakers and guests from the industry, senior railway officers, managers from other organizations, my colleagues and friends in CRIS. It is my privilege and pleasure to welcome you all to the CRIS Seminar 2021. I also welcome Member Infrastructure, who has just joined us. Today's discussions will revolve around the theme of partnerships amongst the different organizations that make up the logistics and travel ecosystems in the country. Partnerships that are formed through efficient and effective interchange of information amongst these stakeholders. Indian Railways forms the backbone of the logistics and travel ecosystems. We touch each Indian's life each and every day by carrying freight and passengers across the country. But there is more to the travel and logistics beyond a single train journey. There is a chain, there is a web actually of different organizations that need to orchestrate their efforts to deliver the services that are nationally required now, because as we all know, our logistics system, our logistics chain needs to be made more efficient. So it is a national requirement. For example, if we look at the travel ecosystem, then we have the travel portals, taxi operators, food delivery services, entire hospitality industry. They combine with the Indian Railways to form the Indian travel ecosystem. And we are one of the major, we are the backbone of this ecosystem. Similarly, producers of goods, transporters, aggregators, 3PL providers, shipping lines, container train operators, ICDs, warehouse operators, Indian Customs, ports, mines, all of these organizations, all of them combine to form the logistics ecosystem. Unless the whole system works efficiently, your logistics gets impacted. So what knits these ecosystems together is information. Information that travels through cyberspace now in the form of tickets, timetables, train positions, passenger manifests, good manifests, invoices, waybills, bills of lading. Just look at the amount of information that is moving across this web. Advanced shipping notifications, tariff cards, all of this now moves electronically. It is created digitally and it moves electronically across these networks. We are already providing our customers with online information. Recently, we have set up this freight business portal and so many facilities we have given, mobile apps. So customers are accessing all this information online. But today, that is not sufficient. That is not enough. The reason is that the logistics and travel partners, the computers have to talk to their computer. Our computers have to talk to their computers. Our IT applications have to interchange information with their IT applications. And the technology is available. That is building up APIs, application programming interfaces, which can provide controlled, secure data interchange executed by authorized and authenticated users across the different organizations' IT systems. But we need to do that little bit more. We need to speak a common language, for example. We need to evolve digital message standards. Do all the partners follow common message syntax? Do they have a common understanding of the terminology? That is, do they understand the same semantics? Do we follow existing standards or should we develop our own standards? I mean, there are existing standard messaging standards like UN EDIFACT, which are used across the world. We can use those standards, but still, for conditions that are peculiar to us, we may have to develop our own. So these questions will be touched upon in today's sessions. So how we have organized it today? Again, a little bit about today's sessions. We have 3 sessions. The inaugural session will run till around 11 o'clock. And thereafter, we will break into 2 parallel sessions. One which addresses freight logistics and the other one parallel session which addresses the passenger travel part of the chain. The links to both of these sessions have been emailed to all of you, all of the audience. So after this session is over, you can join either of these sessions from 11 o'clock onwards. Now, to proceed further, I would request Ms. Anuradha Mukherjee, Managing Director, to welcome the guests and give a brief for the latest activities and Chris. MD Chris.
Who's the chairman of our executive committee, member infra, all the CEOs and CMDs of PSUs and other invitees, special distinguished guests, and railway officers from across the country. And last but not the least, all the members of the CRIS family who are all present here today. 1st July 1986 was the day CRIS was formed, and today, 35 years later, we once again commemorate this day, which turned to be such a magnificent moment in the history of Indian Railways, where a decision was taken to set up a separate autonomous society to deal with the digital needs of railways. 35 years have gone by, and this journey has been long and fairly tumultuous. Technology itself has gone through so many dramatic and drastic changes over these years, and CRIS has managed or tried very hard to keep up with the pace of the change that's happening in the technology world outside. We started small with voice and PRS as the first flagship applications, where we depended heavily on external inputs, not only for development, but also for implementation. But very quickly, very quickly, I would say within a few years, we managed to take over from the vendors and made this our own. And through this entire life cycle of not just voice and PRS, but all the applications that have been developed by CRIS in these 35 years have been handheld by us. So this, it's really a great privilege for me to be here today as a looking after MD in the last 2 months of my service, to be able to lead an organization which has done such tremendously wonderful work. Normally, every year we celebrate this day with almost a week-long celebrations with cultural programs and sports and quiz and a whole lot of other activities, and of course a normal quiz seminar. But this year has been a very solemn year because we have unfortunately had to lose a few of our engineers to this pandemic. So we decided that we could not allow this day to be to not be remembered for its importance, but we would not want to celebrate with any kind of fanfare. Of course, social distancing was another concern as well. The COVID has pretty much transformed the way we have been working in these last 1.5 to 2 years, because work from home has become the norm, and the need to be available in office has receded significantly. As such, even with the pandemic absolutely raging all around us, the amount of work that CRIS did in helping the railways navigate this pandemic, I think is something which all of us are very proud of. Some of the things which we did last year, I will not touch on them, except that just to say that we were able to cancel all the trains in the system with a click of a button. We were able to give cancellations of all the tickets also after the trains, so that every passenger, whether he was an electronic ticket holder or otherwise, got his refund without any, without having to go to the station. So some of the things which we did, we closed our accounts during the complete lockdown last year. This year has been also equally, we have actually carried forward. We assisted with the movement of the special trains, and every state had different requirements for each train. All of that we were able to cope with people working from home. I really am so proud to say that our engineers came forward and uh, did not let down the railways at any stage in this uh, journey. Some of the things that we did during this current year were major developments which we had were the trade business portal for sure, and with the e-market module, which was implemented in a very, very short time. I think within a month or two, we were able to roll this out. And the entire industry commended us for this. We had a really good launch by the Honorable MR, where one industry after another commended us for this achievement. We expedited the electronic weighbridges integration, and one thing which is not much talked about, that is Satsang and the zero-based timetabling enablement that we did. Because it's at the back end that it happens, but now we are able to, we will be able to timetable to not just minutes, but to the second, so that the punctuality can be counted with seconds rather than with minutes. That facility we have developed in Satsang. The contactless sign-on, sign-off of the crew, where they didn't need to go and take the risk of logging on and logging off at the kiosk. RTIS also has been quite a success during this time. We are awaiting the approvals from Ministry of Telecom for allowing the issuing the PO for the second phase of RTIS. The user depot module in the IREPS and the IMMS will be a game changer for the inventory management of the railways. Till now, IMMS was only dealing with stock items, with non-stock items, and not just of the stores department, but of every department, including those stores which come through works contracts. Everything will get captured and it will be electronically available. The thing to do now is to make sure that people start using it in a big way. Two things which we are particularly want to talk about. One is that we have enabled our on-premises cloud with the infrastructure being available for speedy deployment. And we have got almost 20 applications ported onto this. And we are steadily moving towards a regime where even we will plan for migration from our existing servers whenever a refresh of that application is to happen. The second thing which we would like to take credit for during this time is the number of integrations that have happened. Today, most of my applications are integrated with some or the other of the other applications. So there are about, I think, 30 odd applications which talk to each other, and there is no need for duplicate data entry, which has made not only saving of time, but also correctness of the data flow. This is something which we are particularly pleased about. We don't normally, there is no direct contact with external customers. We have our internal customers, that is our railway colleagues, who depend on our fixed infrastructure and even rolling stock to be maintained. And we have enabled that to a very great extent. I'm not saying we are already there and we are doing that we take we've done it already. It's not. It's a work in progress, and this work cannot be completed without the full cooperation of the railways. And the GIS portal which we have launched for the civil engineering assets is something which will have the entire infrastructure available with mapping of the land plans and the whole gamut of it. The station part has been done almost about 98-99%, but it's the other than stations like offices and colonies, those are still to be done. So that is something which, and now we are collaborating with the Geographical Survey of India to use drones to expedite this geo portal. E-Drishti is our actually a flagship application where the dashboard has transformed the IT presence of railways in the rest of the government of India. Any number of ministries have approached us that you make a dashboard like yours for us. So we are justifiably, I think, very pleased with the way the E-Drishti has shaped up. And we have also incorporated in E-Drishti not just our own achievements, but the information that is required for the PMO for their mapping of districts and states. Because our mapping is all zone and division based, whereas they wanted it district and state based. We have been able to do that. The modernization exercise is again a continuous process. Both PRS and voice are due modernization. So is iPass and PMS. Although it's only the phase 1 we have already rolled out, PMS is also due for a refresh, which we are actively working on. What we do best is that unanticipated changes that are expected of us, we do that really well. I think all of you who have, on this call must be really aware of this, that out of the blue, somebody says, Acha, ye karna hai. And we do it. We just do it. And this happens not only at the stage of development of the application, but it happens right in the O&M stages at any stage at all. We don't do only the things which happens suddenly, like rules changed in the government of India. We implement those, of course, but even functionalities which are required by even individual customers, we cater to those as well. Now, CRIS already has a very robust data analytics wing with we have experts of machine learning, statistics, operation research, and IT specialists. We are also sitting on a huge storehouse of data. But we still struggle to know what analytics would be of use to our users. If we are able to know at least some of them, then we will work on those. While, of course, all of us who are here were also railway officers, we can imagine a few. But if we imagine something which is not the priority for the railways, then all our efforts would be in vain. So we request that we have a group of railway officers who help us in identifying those use cases where data analytics expertise which is growing with us can be put to the best use. We are not only sharing data across applications, we are also sharing data with our customers, especially freight customers, and daily a few more requests come, and every time we share it. IRCTC is a very close partner with whom we share data. The next things which we want to look forward to is to have a data governance policy. Because as our data becomes better and better and more usable, it is necessary that we have a proper data governance policy which enables us to share the data without the fear that it could be misused. And it must be made very clear that we are only the data is in our custody. We are not the owners of the data. CRIS is not the owner of the data. The data is the owned by the ministry. And it is they who must help us to devise a kind of a protocol by which the data can be given as expeditiously as possible without compromising our safety and security of the data. So this partnership with Railways has been a very exciting one for CRIS, and I think many of our engineers, I can say, are as good with the knowledge of railway processes and rules as any railway official. We are doing tremendous work and we are capable of doing more. We require your support and help. And with this, I hand over the mic to. Thank you very much for hearing me patiently. Mr. Nath.
Thank you, ma'am. Now I would invite Sri S.K. Mohanty, Member Operations and Business Development, Railway Board, to address the gathering.
Very good morning, MD Chris and the directors and all the officers and staff of Chris, and a very I would like to congratulate all of you and wish you on your foundation day. This is the completion of 35 years, so that is something very special for Chris. Member Infra, Member TRS, Member Finance, I cannot see him, must be there. And all the partners from the industries who are available online. A very good morning. Chris has been there, we can say, right from the year we joined the railways. I joined the railways in 1985. And Chris was set up just a few months after that. So the journey of many of us on the railways has coincided with the journey, the birth and the growing up stage and the maturing stage of Chris. And so we have been involved when PRS was getting implemented. We have been involved when FOIS was getting developed and then implemented, and the refinements are being made, staff training, officers training. In fact, I remember I had come for a few days to Chris when FOIS was being launched. And then Chris has grown from strength to strength, and it has become more and more confident and has never failed to deliver whenever it has been asked to deliver at a short notice. It has come to such a stage that now Chris has provided the digital backbone to all aspects of railway working, whether it is the passenger interface, the freight side, the internal operation, the maintenance of assets, the financial management and the accounting, the stores, the management of inventories, and all the interfaces with the other ministries and industry partners. So I think you can all feel justifiably very proud of the achievement that Chris has been able to make. And I'm very happy that now Chris is working on the integration of the applications. A lot of progress has been made on that, and I am sure that you will be completing the process very soon. And I think, now is the time when Chris at 35 is mature and bold and confident and has the capabilities to look forward to the next stage of development of digitalization and the benefits of digitalization for not only the railways but also our partners and the other departments in the government. Mrs. Anuradha Muketkar was talking about the achievements, during the last year and quarter during the period of pandemic. In fact, that has been another stellar performance by Chris during this period. And we are all very proud of the achievement of Chris over the years and certainly over the last year and quarter. The internal users of the applications developed by Chris have certainly been helped a lot by the continuous development and modification of the applications as per their requirement. And I am sure cannot agree more with Ms. Muketkar that this UDM that has been developed, because I was in Southeastern and that was the stage when we were implementing this. It certainly, if used properly and actively, can help reduce the inventory levels and the cost associated with it by a few 100 basis points, if not more. And I think we have to concentrate on that very, very much this year, because as we try to control our expenditure and manage our inventory in a more efficient manner, that is certainly going to help in a big way. The upgradation in the PRS system, with the result that we are now booking more than 26,000 tickets a minute, and the development of the business development portal, which again has been commended a lot by everybody. I request the partners in industry to use it to the fullest possible extent. The digital payments, especially on the freight side, is growing from strength to strength. Passenger side, of course, it has already been known to everybody, but freight side also now I think it is close to 97%, if I am not mistaken, of all the payments are through the digital mode, and that is going to only increase in the months to come, because recently we have added another feature for digital payment for our customers. So as I said, it's a very, very proud moment for not only Chris but also for all of us in the board. We are happy to be associated with your journey. We certainly will be there for you for whatever help you need. Certain things you mentioned, we'll certainly work together on it, like data governance policy, etc. And I again wish Chris all the best and all the members of Chris on this Foundations Day. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Now I would request Shri Sanjeev Mittal, Member Infrastructure Railway Board, to kindly address the participants.
Well, good morning, everyone. Mrs. Anuradha Muketkar, MD Chris, my colleague members from Railway Board, other officers from Railway, CEOs and MDs, CMDs from PSUs, and the officers and staff from theirs, the entire team of CRIS and industry, ladies and gentlemen, my hearty congratulations to the entire team of CRIS on this 35th Foundation Day. To me, CRIS is a very kind of unique combination of competent IT professionals and experienced railway officials to deliver and maintain complex IT solutions for Indian Railways. It's basically the IT arm of Indian Railways, if we can say so. CRIS is providing IT solutions for almost all key functions of railways, be it ticketing, freight, services, operations, asset management, human resource, accounting and procurement, and automation in contract management, and so on and so forth. On civil engineering part, IRCEP, that is that IR civil engineering portal, that has been developed for e-governance in the engineering department. As we all know that civil engineering infrastructure is the largest static infrastructure of Indian Railways, comprising of track, bridges, land, etc. For management of this huge infrastructure, CRIS has developed several browser-based applications hosted on the Indian Railway Civil Engineering portal, like track management system, TMS we call it, bridge management system, Indian Railways project sanction and management system, Indian Railways works contract management system, CRS sanction management system, railroad crossing management system, rail bhumi crossing management system, Indian Railways Shramik Kalyan portal, and the list is even much more. But this track management system has been the flagship application for civil engineering department, which has been running successfully for last almost 10 years. It aims at maximizing the benefits of material, equipment, and manpower inputs made to track to optimize the life of assets by web, enabling the existing manual system of track inspection. It has been highly praised by a team of German experts who visited CRIS some time back for its impressive content and features. Well, recently, TMS dashboard covering important safety and maintenance aspects has been developed, and this will be launched very soon, I am told. Likewise, WCMS, that is the contract management system application. This has been developed recently and this is a huge application which has helped in ensuring transparency, efficiency, and accountability in contract management by enabling both the executives as well as the contractors. Well, right from initiation of proposal for sanctioning of works, tendering, e-measurement, e-bill payment, and online release of performance guarantee or security deposit has been put on e-platform. Then IRGIS application, which was mentioned by MD Chris also, for IR asset mapping is also under development. About 70% work has been completed and likely to be launched quite shortly. All on-track assets are mapped, and mapping of off-track assets such as railway colonies, institutes, workshops, etc. is also under progress. Leasing and licensing of land, including its renewal and way leave sanction process, have been put on e-platform, including online payment facility by applicant. It has resulted into a smooth, transparent, and fast-track approval of such applications by the railways. Well, all these applications have been basically, I would say that independently developed by CRIS in consultation with the officers who are experts in these areas, and they have been running successfully now. We have really seen the advantage and the benefits of all these applications. Like TMS, I have been following it quite closely for last 6-7 years. Wherever we go on inspections, probably I would say that paper-based inspections are almost now eliminated. Everything is there in the digital form with the people, and everything is accessible right from the lowest office to the highest office. So these are few things which are being done by CRIS. I really congratulate the entire team of CRIS for their Herculean efforts that have been put into these development of these applications in last 35 years, that for all their endeavors for implementing e-governance in the railways by ensuring 24/7 delivery of cost-effective, reliable and innovative IT solutions. And I wish this CRIS seminar a very big success. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for your kind words. We are very thankful to Sri Rahul Jain, Member Traction and Rolling Stock Railway Board, for joining us today. I would request him to say a few words and encourage us. Sri Rahul Jain.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen of CRIS and my fellow railwaymen. I congratulate CRIS on its 35th foundation day. In fact, if I remember it correctly, MD CRIS stated that on 1st of July 1986, CRIS was established. And I, and of course Mr. S.S. Mathur, were probably one of the first customers of CRIS. We were working for Rail Coach Factory. We were going in for IT development in a major manner. And there used to be a legendary figure in CRIS, one Mr. Ramakrishnan. And both of us, we used to come down to Delhi, seek his guidance, and I ultimately diversified into CAD/CAM. And Mr. Mathur diversified into databases. And CRIS, we took our baby steps in CRIS. And CRIS was something which spearheaded, which led the IT initiative on Indian Railways. Way back in the late 80s, early 90s, features like the reservation system that we had were unheard of. In fact, we had just graduated from those punch cards that we have had. So I really congratulate CRIS. CRIS is an extension of Indian Railways. It is railwaymen per se, railwaymen and railwaywomen per se. So CRIS has its best years ahead of it. I heard MD CRIS mention that we have immense data. We have a lot of numbers available, but we don't really know what to do with them, and neither does the user specify. The class 101 of marketing teaches you, if there is no need, identify a need, create a need. So I would probably request CRIS, why don't you move on to predictive analysis as such? You have immense data, you have people capable, very, very capable people, go in for analytics in a very big manner. There are models available in industry, in non-government industry now, where you can dynamically tweak a thing and you can find the results. That could possibly be one area. CRIS has done extremely well on the stores front, be it the user development model or the IREPS. I have one request in that area. Even right now, in global tenders, ERA is not possible. Now, the logic, the rationale being offered is that the currencies are different, etc., etc. But I'm sure, if I have seen that because of ERA, the average prices in a production unit that I have experience of came down by about 7 to 10%. So if we have ERA in GT, why don't we go ahead with that? Then of course your eDrishti is a resounding success, and the fact that other ministries are approaching Indian Railways is something extremely laudable. Remember, I said Indian Railways, I didn't say CRIS, so I use the words interchangeably. You're part of Indian Railways, I'm part of CRIS. Now, what I'm trying to say is, a facility like eDrishti is good, novel, interesting for the Indian Railways per se, for the government sector per se. But industry, private industry has moved beyond, much beyond that. So, any kind of a predictive analysis which you could offer to the railways, if I go in for tripling on this route, where could my bottleneck move to? With the current projections of traffic, what it could be? If with the current level of fare that a customer in Mumbai pays for EMU service, were I to introduce AC EMUs, what would be the predictions? Those are areas which you could just, they would be of immense help to the railways. You see, right now, on the Indian Railways, our projections are not very, very contemporary. They are not based on the latest methods available for projecting them. Your predictive analysis perhaps could offer us a lot on that front. So that would be it from my side. GIS is a wonderful effort. The scope of GIS, I believe it is going to be the biggest database of CRIS, is immense mapping of every asset of Indian Railways. Fantastic. I can't wait to see it. Have an excellent Foundation Day and a great day ahead. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir, for the inspiring words and for the ideas that you have given to all of us. And in fact, I would like to thank all the members of the Railway Board. They have given us so much to think about, so much to act on. And certainly during the course of the next year, I think we will be interacting with you more and also acting on whatever you have told us today. Thank you very much. Now I call upon Shri D.K. Singh, Director Passenger Services CRIS, to propose a vote of thanks, following which we will end the session. Shri D.K. Singh.
मैं क्रिस की तरफ से सभी मेहमानों का शुक्रिया अदा करता हूं कि वो आज की बैठक में शरीक हुए। खास तौर पे बोर्ड के हमारे मेंबरान जनाब मोहंती साहब, जैन साहब और अफजल साहब का मैं शुक्रिया अदा करना चाहूँगा, जिन्होंने अपनी मसरूफियात के बीच भी हमारे लिए वक्त निकाला और आज की प्रोग्राम और बैठक में तकरीर दी और शिरकत की और हमें अपना गाइडेंस दिया कि हम आगे कैसे आगे बढ़ सकते हैं। सभी का फिर एक बार शुक्रिया।
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. All the participants are requested to log out of this inaugural session and join the technical session of their choice. The links are already emailed, so please you are requested to join the technical sessions that you choose to join. Thank you very much.
Thank you.